Hey guys, Ash Lane here coming at you today, sharing a few Town Hall 11 bases. Now these can be war bases as you see on the screen, or they can actually be hybrids. This could be a trophy pushing base. It can certainly also protect your loot. As you can see, the loot is pretty well protected in this base, so they're really hybrid bases, at least two of them. The third will be an anti-3-star base. Depending on the caliber of your wars, the difficulty of your matchup, you can go ahead and swap in the anti-3 or stick with one of these trophy bases. So this base actually is one of them, but let's go to the layout editor screen and show you guys a nice clean setting of the clean view rather of the bases. So this is the first base, that my main base right now. I'm going to show you a replay in just a bit of this base. You can see I have a multi-inferno towers on all my war bases. I strongly advocate all multi on war, and then you can try 1-1 in the wild. At least that's what I like. So I love this base, guys. This is the base I have been using trophy pushing, or I was using trophy pushing. Now I'm dropping a little bit out of Legends League. I just don't have time to push full time, but you can see the base here. The Eagle Artillery is up here, and opposite side you have the Clan Castle. Make the defender, or the attacker rather, choose which direction to come in from. Rarely are you going to see attackers come in from the southeast or the northwest. Rather, they hit from around 2 o'clock or around 7, 8 o'clock. So they want to go into only one of the Infernos rather than both of them. And look at the Inferno towers. They have a ton of hit points around them, and that's really key to this base design. There's actually a couple keys. One is the funneling. There's some issues funneling. Unless you're using a lot of earthquakes in the middle, even if you drop a jump spell, oftentimes troops will actually go around, not to the core, but rather around in those big center areas. But we'll move on, and I'll show you a replay of that base in action, and it will really illustrate the funneling issues that base can create. So the second base here, I like this base too. Maybe not quite as much as the first one, but honestly, I haven't tried this base as much as the first one. So I actually found this base. It's not my own creation. I found this base when a friend of mine was having a lot of success with it. He wished to remain anonymous, but he shared it with me. But I have gone in here and made some adjustments. So you can see the Clan Castle, the Eagle Artillery, both clumped together on this base. So what I've done is I've overloaded traps over here, as you can see, and I put the traps in front of the storages instead of the defensive units. You always want to make sure you do that. That way you can catch the golems will go to the defensive units, the cannon or whatnot, and the archer tower, and hopefully you can catch some of those wizards and witches with the giant bombs, because the golems aren't going to funnel into them and trigger them. There's a ton of hit points on this base, all protecting that core area, assuming the attacker again is going to come in from the southeast or the northwest. Now I might switch the Clan Castle here with that gold storage as I just did, and this makes the attacker choose which direction to come in from. Now in this case, I might not overload all my skeleton traps in the south there. I might switch them to the Clan Castle side of the base. So, but the base overall is a pretty solid setup. It's pretty difficult to 2-star unless you really know how to hit this type of base, which I've actually coincidentally covered in previous videos. Anyway, let's go to the third anti-3-star base before we watch that replay later on. So this is the anti-3-star base. I've shown you a base very similar to this before in the past, but not this variation. I really like this base. I actually stole this base from one of the top Chinese clans, and then I actually put the traps in myself. So I'm gonna use this base against people who I feel have a great shot at 3-starring Town Hall 11s. You may know what type of people those may be, but if we have a difficult war, this is the type of base I use. Now, the real key to this base is the air defenses. It makes it really difficult, if not impossible, to execute a nice queen walk. But the center, they're a little bit vulnerable to zap. But look at the air defenses, by the way. You can see they all wrap. They're all perfectly inside, so the queen won't target them, but obviously they can also have some overlap along the perimeter of the base. In the core there, it might be a little bit vulnerable to Zapquake, but with the Inferno Tower and the Archer Queen and the Clan Castle so close together. But I've had this base since Town Hall 11 has came out, and I have not been 3-starred with Zapquake. So far, so good. Eagle Artillery is off to the side. Everything else is kind of in the core. It's really, really tough to mass witch this base. I haven't seen any successful 8 or 12 earthquake attacks, which are really the popular 3-star strategy, along with Queen Walk up in to max Town Hall 11. So let's go ahead and end this episode with just my most recent defense. I just changed to this base, so I had the other defenses were not applicable because this was the first with this base. And wouldn't you know, I'm 1 for 1 in defenses. I'm gonna bring you this Abdul from Arab Champions, well-known clan. He's a Legend League attacker, so certainly he knows what he's doing. Not a bad attacker per se, but this attack goes south really quickly. I always use a Lava Hound and a Lava Hound in a balloon or a Lava Hound in a wizard. Either way works. And what happens here is like I said, the attackers 99% of the time are gonna come from around 7 o'clock or around 2 o'clock. They don't want to go into 2 Inferno Towers, and if they do that, you're gonna see what I was talking about with a funnel here. So he has that jump spell, but the jumps, most of the troops, the witches most importantly, are going to ignore that jump spell and be lured around the south rather than funnel into the town hall, which is what he wants them to do. All the while, that far side, that really far side Eagle Artillery is going to be hammering into his troops. So that's the beauty of this base. That's why I really like it. You don't get too many defensive wins up in Legends League, even though I'm technically in Titan 1. I was attacked by a Legend, so we'll say it's, for all intents and purposes, a Legend defense. So you don't see too many straight-out wins below 40%, but you did here, and I hope you guys have the same sort of success that I'm having early on with this base and the rest of the bases. They've held up well for me in war. I hope they hold up well for you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, take care, guys. Hey guys, before I let you go, be sure to subscribe and check out my other channel. It is 3-Star Vault Clash of Clans, an aggregation of 3-star attacks sorted by Town Hall level and strategy. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.